everybody, welcome along to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster. Looking forward to the action on Saturday, the 29th of March, which is, of course, the first day of the flat season on turf in Britain. Well, there's some really good racing at Doncaster, and I'm going to have a crack at the two big handicaps. The reserve race for the Lincoln Handicap, the Spring Mile, which is off at 150, and also the big one, the 335, the Lincoln Handicap itself. If you're joining me for the first time here on YouTube, then please press the subscribe key, the button just below this screen. And of course, if you're interested in more selections for more races at big each way prices, then you can join my subscription service at Patreon, where you will find the link for joining up in the description box just below this screen. Well, I'm running out of voice, so I'm going to make it slightly briefer than usual and give you the details straight away with a slightly shorter analysis. The 150 at Doncaster is the Spring Mile. They're forecasting it good to soft in places, and there are 22 runners. Now, as I'm sure you know, this is a consolation race, but the horses that didn't make the cut for the Lincoln itself, it's still a very good race in its own right. Now, Edward Bethel has an interesting horse called Nate Point, very progressive last season, originally put in as the early 13-2 favourite, but in what is proven to be quite a hot betting race. They're going 8-1 the field now. But if Nate Point is ready after his winter break, he could be the one to beat, but there are plenty of other big prizes for him, so whether they'll have him absolutely cherry ripe first time out remains to be seen. Now, the ex-Aidan O'Brien trained Ocean of Dreams makes his debut for the Archie Watson stable and runs in a handicap for the first time of 90. He's got first-time cheek pieces on as well, but the problem for me with this horse is that he's shaped like a mile and a half horse so far in his career for Aidan O'Brien, and this mile might be a bit sharp for him for new connections after a 10-month absence. Dunlop's pressure's on, just gets in at the foot of the weight and has already had a spin this season, and he shaped well when second over 7 furlongs at Wolverhampton 3 weeks ago. He's already been supported, but he's yet to win over this far, so has to prove himself at the mile. Now, horses on my short list have included Mick and David Easterby's potential improver, Spirit of Ackland, Steph Hollinshead Mile, who won its last 4 starts last season at 7 furlongs, but who does give the impression he is worth a try at 8 furlongs. Last year's winner, Look Back Smiling for Gemma Tutty, and last year's runner-up and top weight, Thunder Roar for Tony Cole, who didn't show his true colours at the Curragh last week. And also Tom Clover's Surrey Shadow, who's unexposed and opened a bags of improvement. Now, I'm going to be backing 2 in this race, as I tend to do in big handicaps. One of them I've presented over and out in front, but here at Sportsbet, I'm going to take a chance on a horse called Rhythm Master. And he is trained by Jeff Harker and is the mount of Rowan Scott. He really is on a very, very attractive handicap mark, because at his best, he would wipe the floor with this lot, but undoubtedly, he is not the force of old. He is, however, weighted to go well now, though. The ground is right for him, and he ran a very solid trial when he caught the eye, staying on under quite a tender ride to be 5th at Southwell last time out. The question mark is his stall 1 draw. That may or may not be an advantage. We've seen winners come from both sides of the track at Doncaster's first meeting of the season in recent years. But I think that at the 20-1 each way, he has already been back from 33s, by the way. 20-1 each way for 6 places at the moment at the time of this recording with Bet365, Paddy Power and Betfair. Rhythm Master looks worth a double. And then to the big race itself, the Doncaster 335, the first leg of the Spring Double, the William Hill Lincoln Handicap, 22 runners. Now, Wathan Racing, who have become quite a force in British racing, are well represented here with Carlberg's Native Warrior, who was 3rd in last season's Britannia Handicap at Royal Ascot. He's got a high draw near the stand side in 21. They've also got Midnight Gun, trained by Hamid Al-Jahani, who's drawn 13. He's a horse who ended last term with a solid course and distance 2nd in soft ground. The other early market principal is Carlberg's Thunder Run, winner of 3 of his last 5 starts in 2024, and he ended a fine campaign with a big effort when he was 4th in the Balmoral Handicap on Champions Day at Ascot in October. Last year's winner of the Lincoln was Mr. Professor, trained then by Dominic French Davies, now with Rafael Freire, the Brazilian. This horse appears to have been overlooked, but he has conditions to suit once again and is only £4 higher than when scoring here in such good style. I think possibly like a number of the odds compilers, I'm not 100% sure about the trainer. I think he's still to prove himself as being up to the job. Maybe he's going to prove us all wrong and win here, we'll see. Well, he clearly goes well fresh, Mr. Professor, that much we do know. Alpha Crucius for Gary and Josh Moore was fourth in the Lincoln last year. He'd be helped by any more rain. He's a real mudlover. While last week's Irish Lincolnshire winner Orandi for Tony Martin is going to bid to do a really famous double under a £5 penalty. But this does look a stronger race than the Irish Lincolnshire, and it really would be a massive performance if he could follow up. Too Tempting, trained by Johnny Portman, won 5 handicaps last season and was very progressive, so could have more to offer. Oliver Show for George Bowie is fit after 2 solid runs in Bahrain in recent weeks and might not be far away if he handles the easier ground. Toy Me Son for David Menicier. Sean, trained by Jamie Osborne, a classy horse, and the informed all-weather winner Apiarist for Kevin Ryan are among a host of others who have a sporting chance. But as I said, I'm going to be backing 2 in the race, one of which I've already highlighted at Out in Front. But here at Sportsbet, my choice is Latam. Latam is trained by Julie Camacho and the mount of Ryan Sexton. And I think he's going to go very, very well indeed. He was an excellent second to Mr. Professor in this race 12 months ago. He's now a couple of pounds better off, but he goes well fresh. He's a really good horse first time out usually, so his 262 days off the track will not be an issue, and he revels on easy ground as he showed again at the end of last term when he was second in the Balmoral Handicap at Ascot on their Champions Day. So I think he should have every chance. And from his middle draw, install 12, Ryan Sexton, if there's any advantage on either side of the track seen in the earlier races, he'll have the option to go one way or the other. If there isn't an obvious advantage, well, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line, so he may just go straight up the middle and try and make the best of his way home. Latam is 12 to 1 each way for 6 places with William Hill at the time of this recording, and I think that does represent good value. So those are my 2 for the 2 big mile handicaps at Doncaster on Saturday. As I said, if you're interested in joining me at Out in Front, you can find the link in the description box. I'll also be having tips for racing at Doncaster on Sunday. There's also some very good Irish racing on Sunday. And don't forget, of course, to join me a similar time next week when we'll be looking forward to the Grand National. And I'll be having a crack at the world's greatest steeplechase, and certainly 1 or 2 that I'm fancying at the moment are pretty big prices. Have a great weekend, whatever you're backing. Bye for now.